The second part of the system of the DAP side is aggression. And this is my favorite part of my sex life, is using my male aggression, like this sort of angry emotion inside of me, to go hard. So dominance, we talked about, was more about like leadership. So you could be dominant without being aggressive. You could lead her to do something, but do it in somewhat of like a gentle kind of way. But with aggression, you add this extra sort of power to the thing that you're doing. Aggression is like when you're fucking her as hard as you possibly can, and you're not being gentle, you're pounding against her as hard as possible. It was that story I told you about, the Somalian girl that I slept with, where I first unleashed a level of like aggression, and that's when I found that girls really love this shit. I was so convinced that the way to have sex in a way that girls enjoy it was like kind of like this soft, gentle, you know, focus on them and make them feel loads of pleasure. And as soon as I unleashed that aggressive part of myself, it was so much more enjoyable for myself, but also for the girl. And so aggression, we can just say, equals how hard you fuck. So dominance is all about leadership and, you know, where you want to position her and everything. Aggression is just literally how hard you like pound. So most guys will do like, you know, like a little bit of hip movement like this, and, you know, some guys will go a little bit harder for like the last, you know, 30 seconds before they're about to bust, and, you know, they're trying to like hold in their cum or some shit. But when you can learn to throw your body into a fucking girl like this with power, fuck, man. So in my second year of university, you know, this was something I was trying to do for a while, you know, like be more aggressive, like fuck harder. It became something that I really like. When people would ask me, like, you know, how do I have sex? What's my fetishes and stuff? I said, I don't really have any fetishes. I just like fucking hard. Maybe that's a fetish. I don't think it is. But that's my kind of sex, is like, I just like fucking hard. An issue with that was that I wanted to fuck with aggression, with like, you know, like hard pound, like hip to hip pound. And a lot of girls simply couldn't take it. I don't have like a massive dick, but my dick is like long enough that like the majority of girls don't have enough like space, so it just hits their cervix. It hits like this part of like the inner sort of vagina, like inches into the vagina, that like it's just painful for the girl. And, you know, some girls can move past the pain, it's still nice, but like for a lot of girls, like I would hit this like hard, like bony part of like the inside of them that's like deeply painful, and they'd like, you know, fully like start like this shit. So it was always kind of annoying that I couldn't unleash this like full total aggression up until I met this girl, bro. And holy fuck, when I met this girl, bro, I didn't wife her up, but like I stayed with her for 3 years because she was the first girl I met who could take it as hard as I could give. What a girl, man. She could take it as hard as I give. So this was my second year of university, and the first, you know, months of fucking her, I just fucked her like just like normal. It was just kind of like average. It wasn't, you know, amazing or anything. I wasn't like totally unleashing this aggression. But it was when me and her had like an argument, and I kind of fell out, and I didn't like her anymore, but I was still kind of fucking her, and she was trying to like get back on my good side. That's when, because I didn't sort of have this same level of like care for her, I was able to turn on and sort of care less about hurting her, just more so just like, you know, just almost like in a sense wanting to inflict pain on her. I know that sounds fucked up, but then the next part of this system, which, you know, I said this was going to be controversial, but the next part of this system of DAP is P for pain. And so we'll talk about pain in the next video. But this, at least with this girl, was the first time where I actually felt somewhat comfortable to unleash pain. And that allowed me to be way more aggressive. And I realized that this girl that I'm talking about now, she could actually take my sort of level of aggression as hard as I could give it. And that was a deeply fulfilling like sexual relationship that we had. It was like the first sort of like big long-term time that I had where I could be the kind of fuck that I wanted. The way that I fucked this girl, man, because it was over so long, it was over years that I was sleeping with this one girl, we were able to experience it in so many different environments and, you know, apartments and everything, and would almost automatically find like the best sort of places for me to fuck as hard as possible. She seemed to like it as hard as well. And so I remember there was this one apartment that me and her lived in with this one couch with this one angle where I would have her legs up, like she would hold her legs up like up in the air like this, kind of like missionary, but she's like lying down on the couch, sort of like her back is on like, you know, the armrest of the couch and sort of missionary style, and then her legs are up. And I would not go onto the couch, but I would have my feet on the floor, my arms like this, and I would kind of thrust my entire, not just my hips, but my entire sort of body into her. And it would be like the hardest I had ever fucked a girl in my entire life. Imagine like you have this sort of mindset of wanting to fuck hard for months or years, and you're actually like implementing it, so you reach like a new high score. That's the point that I got to. It made me feel fucking awesome. And I know this sounds weird, you know, talking about, oh yeah, fucking girls hard, and like, yeah, you're probably thinking, wait, he said inflicting pain on her and stuff. But again, it's like she stayed with me for years, and, you know, after I'd fucked this little girl, you know, 5'3", 5'4", as hard as possible, she'd be proper cute next to me and everything. So all these like little male feminists will try and cancel us because we're talking about controversial shit now. we're talking about using like aggression. But this, at least with this girl, was what she was enjoying and I was enjoying too. So aggression is all based on literally just how hard you fuck. And it's almost like a skill that you need to get exposure to. And this thing that we're talking about here, aggression, like fucking hard, it takes discipline because it's not easy. It's extremely tiring. And it's very, very, very similar to HIIT. You know, HIIT, high intensity interval training. It literally is like a form of cardio. Like with this level of aggression that I'm talking about, you will literally have sweat dripping down like your body, especially around your chest and your stomach and stuff. You'll be panting. You'll be like full on groaning. It's a shame that I'm not going to show you like video clips of me fucking just so you could be exposed to this. But I'm talking levels of like how hard you could fuck, of you literally feeling like you're about to throw up. I'm talking you put in like as close to 100% intensity as you possibly can. You probably never experienced this. You know why? Because for you to fuck as hard and as like fast as I'm talking about, you have to not bust, you have to not come. Because think about it, if you're a normal guy and you're having sex and you want to go a bit harder and faster, you'd probably feel the need to bust within literally a few seconds of doing that. The only way that you can relentlessly fuck a girl hard is if you have either control of not needing to come, or it's kind of like okay for you to not pull out and like to keep fucking, whether like you've got a condom and you know you're okay with the risk, or like your girl has got contraceptive, like, you know, the implant, the coil, the pill, and you like 100% trust it. A lot of guys like trust their women and then their woman gets pregnant even though she was on the pill. Like, this is your own judgment, and I personally wouldn't really go with the risk. I have done previously, and like it's kind of like, for me, I've kind of known what girls I can trust or not. I know what girls are kind of like sneaky or not. I know, like, it's hard to explain, but like, this is your own judgment. Don't get a girl pregnant if you don't want to, whatever. But for example, that story I told you about of the girl that I was sleeping with like 4 years ago, whatever, the one who I was fucking hard, she was on a pill, and I would see her take the pill every day, and I was 100% certain that she didn't want to have a child right now, 100% certain. And I knew with 100% certainty that if I did get her pregnant, she would get an abortion ASAP, even though like we were kind of, you know, together in love and stuff, because she had like other plans with her life and everything. And so I had this rare kind of opportunity, and you know, it's a very like stupid risk and whatever, but I wasn't using a condom and I wasn't pulling out. I was busting inside, and that was the reason why I was able to like practice my level of like hard fucking, because I didn't need to pull out. So you need to kind of figure this out for your own sense. 100% I would recommend now, any man who's especially going to like build something of himself, use a condom pretty much every time. So many more girls than you think like being fucked in an aggressive, like hard, you know. So I just want to clarify, aggressive in this, you know, this strategy of DAP, aggressive is literally our metric for like hard fuck, like aggressive, like pound. And so many more girls than you think actually enjoy this. Honestly, like I can't really think of like any particular girl I've experienced who doesn't enjoy me sort of going like harder and harder and harder. Even like those cute, innocent looking girls that, you know, you think they would require you to be more gentle. Like, bro, any kind of girl likes you to like put in some fucking work. Like this sort of boring ass normal missionary that most guys are doing, it's no wonder that the girls cheat on them. Because once a girl has experienced like a fuck like this, like fucking hard shit, bro, she's gonna think about that guy who fucked her like it was like HIIT, like high intensity interval training with discipline, rather than all like her husband chump 10 years from now. Make sure that's not you, bro. Make sure that like you don't get with a girl who's been like fucked harder than you, bro. I'm talking like you don't know the levels of fuck that you can have here, bro. Like you can fuck to the point that you literally feel like you're about to throw up. That's the right level. Now, of course, you don't need to do this all the time. You know, it's kind of tiring and she'll be sore and everything. But any girl that you sleep with should, especially the first time you sleep with her, should experience like the full extent of your aggressive and dominant fucking. Like she should experience like how hard you can fuck. Because if you don't give her that experience, you're not going to be able to compare with that one random guy who just relentlessly fucked her. And so how do you fuck in a more aggressive, hard way? The single best way that I have found, the single best way, and this is such a weirdly practical tip, is to listen to aggressive music, which is specifically very loud. What I have personally found through my testing, my experimenting, is that her moans and how hard you fuck is totally linear to the volume of music that you play. I'll say that again, and trust me when I say, like, I've experimented with a lot of participants for this study. Her moans and how hard you fuck, how aggressive you fuck, is totally linear to how loud the music is. Some guys, this might be you, and it's fucking embarrassing. Some guys fuck with no music playing at all. That's like, it's unacceptable. Trust me right now, if you haven't done this right now, put on some, like, grab, you know, I literally, bro, I literally take this speaker with me everywhere. When I know I'm gonna be fucking a girl, I take this speaker with me. Or, you know, if I'm gonna go sleep with a girl in like a car, then I know that the car has speakers and stuff, fine. But literally, this speaker I've had for years and years and years. I had this speaker speaker. This was the speaker I was fucking girls to in Manchester when I was in university. It's the same one, bro. I take it with me everywhere. For example, there was a time at the start of this year of 2022 where I fucked this girl who messaged me on Instagram. She out of the blue messaged me just saying like, hey, let's go for a date. It'll be worth your time. And I was just like teasing her like, oh no, it won't, like whatever. And then this girl put in all the work. Like she booked the hotel. She traveled down like 3 hours on a train to come see me in a bar in Manchester wearing like this really nice dress, a really attractive girl. Got like a drink with her, went back to a hotel, and guess what? In my own backpack that I took there, I took this with me. Everywhere I go where I know I'm gonna be fucking, I take my own speaker with me, because fucking with loud, aggressive music compared to just fucking in silence, it's not even comparable. The type of music that I've personally found makes me fuck like the most aggressive is, for me, like UK drill rap. Like this kind of like hard aggressive rap that's about like stabbing people and having gang wars and stuff. It's the kind of music I listen to in the gym. So perhaps either it's this specific music that's just, you know, it's violent, so it like makes me get aggressive, or it could be the music that you listen to in the gym. If you don't listen to like any kind of fruity sort of like soft shit in the gym, if you listen to like, I know Sam, my video editor, I know he listens to like drum and bass, like techno kind of music. So even for him, for example, he could take a speaker with him wherever he is, or, you know, set it up in his room or something, and he could play the same kind of gym songs that he like grunts to, that he pushes hard to, drum and bass or whatever, and play that when he's fucking, and make sure it's loud. Remember, the louder the music, the louder she moans, and the louder that you pound. Underneath this video, I'll link the Spotify playlist that I use when I'm fucking girls. There's like a few different ones, so I'll link whatever one I think is best for you. I'll link that, see if you actually like the music. I don't think it's the specific songs that does anything. I think it's my association to the particular songs because I listen to them in the gym. So you need to find songs that really kind of like hype you up and get you in more of like this sort of aggressive alpha sort of masculine mood, this sort of like loud, intense kind of mood. Play that music, play it loud. The reason why I'm spending so much time telling you just simply about music is because the impact is fucking huge. Believe me on this. I don't fuck nearly as hard in total silence that I do when if like loud music is playing, and you'll find the exact same thing.